20 years ago, I received life-changing advice from a financial advisor. It wasn't a stock tip, tax strategy, or anything of the sort. At the time, Kim and I were young parents with young children struggling to make ends meet. In passing, while chatting as friends, the advisor gave me advice I've never forgotten. Clearly, since here I am recording a video about it 20 years later. He said to me, most people who overspend their income do so in one of three ways: too much house, too much car, or too much entertainment. And that advice has served me well for 2 decades. It has shaped my life, and it can shape yours. Notice what all three of these have in common. They are all decisions, not circumstances, not bad luck, not things that happen to us, not even necessarily spending items that are at the mercy of economic conditions. They are choices that we make. You choose the home you live in, the car you drive, and how you entertain yourself. And such, they are within our control. Let's look at each of them. Number 1, how much house you choose to live in. Housing is the single largest expense in the American household budget, accounting for 1/3 of what the average family spends each year. In other words, the house we choose to live in may be the single most important financial decision we make. And I wish we could say that we are doing it well. But rather than simply buying the home we need, we keep buying bigger and bigger houses. The average new home size is now 3 times larger than it was 70 years ago, all while the average number of members in a household has gotten smaller during the same period. Meanwhile, there are numerous benefits to living in a smaller home, so consider them when making your decision. Buying too much house doesn't just ruin your family budget, as my advisor friend pointed out long ago. It also takes your time, your energy, and your peace. No doubt that is why the leading cause of regret among home buyers is the unexpected burden of maintenance and the hidden costs. You need a home, but you don't need the most expensive one your bank says you can buy. Number 2, how much car you choose to drive. The second decision that makes or breaks most family budgets is sitting out in the driveway. For most people, a vehicle is the second largest purchase they will ever make. In fact, housing and transportation combine for half of the average American household's spending. And where there is great spending, there is great opportunity for change. 2 in 5 drivers now spend 20% of their monthly income on their vehicle, roughly double what most financial experts recommend. And 1 in 2 say that their car is the reason they can't save or invest any money. Nevertheless, just like our houses, the stats show that we just keep buying bigger and bigger and fancier vehicles. 20 years ago, cars made up nearly half of new vehicle sales in America. Today, SUVs and trucks make up nearly 4 out of every 5 new vehicles sold. As a result, the average new car now sells for nearly $50,000, almost double the cost of the average used car. 80% are financed, and get this, Americans now owe $1.7 trillion in auto loans. A car is a tool to get you from point A to point B. But now, in our culture, vehicles have become something far greater than that. They have become status symbols, identity statements, and emotional purchases rationalized as practical ones. Purchase items for their ability to meet your needs, not their ability to impress your neighbor, and save your family budget because of it. And the third on his list, how you choose to spend your money on entertainment. The third decision is the smallest of the 3, but it's the easiest to change. As I understood it when he said it, entertainment can be defined broadly. But once we consider the options in this category, we can see the potential to decide differently. Eating out, concerts, sporting events, streaming services, hobbies, vacations, the list could continue. Let's look at the numbers. Americans now spend 39 cents of every food dollar at restaurants or ordering delivery. In fact, food delivery spending has grown 900% since 1997. If we think we're saving money elsewhere to offset the increase in eating out, that would be incorrect. Leisure spending has increased from 9% of total consumer spending in 2013 to 13% in 2022. In other words, we're spending more and more of our money in this category, which also means that there is opportunity to make new decisions around it. It was absolutely life-changing advice I received 20 years ago. Most people who overspend their income do so in one of three ways: too much house, too much car, or too much entertainment. And the numbers seem to back it up.